Oh shit. My bad, my bad. Welcome on YouTube. Welcome to day 4 of Restoration Week. Day 3 was kind of a doozy, especially on the editing side because you can't even hear me on the best part of the video. So I had to cut out a lot of moments. But we got a really good thing going on this episode. We are going to get a lot done because we are encroaching upon my part. And my part is undecorated. Why am I talking about my part? Who cares? What we're doing right now is we're finishing up Fluffy and MF's part. And we're going to get some started on Doge Hunters. I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, it might have something to do with, I don't know, retro. Okay. All right, the race begins. So to start off, I need to make something else. I have already repopulated some pulses. I might get rid of this checkerboard background that I made. I like the idea so much. You know what? We will put it in here, but I'll be taking your groups. Your groups are mine now. I'm just gonna relegate their groups to what I'm about to do here. So, since this part has water, I wanted to make a waterfall background, and using these is kind of risky, I feel like, but it doesn't. I mean, like, it's not that big of a deal, honestly. If you can pull it off right, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. So if I can just get the right amount of splash on that. Yeah. The problem is whatever this is layered as 102. What's this layered as? 101. Okay, so these have to move back. So this would be 103, and this big old square will be 104 now. We'll give this. Ooh, actually, yeah, we have to put it one more layer back because I want to put this on blended. I can't blend these. Fuck, I can't blend these. Okay, that's kind of upsetting because it's not gonna let me put it above those even if they have a higher layer. So what we're going to have to do is I'm going to copy 111 blending because it's the water layer. I just said I couldn't do blending. Am I dumb? It's not bad. I don't want too many waterfalls by each other. Okay, they're right next to each other, whatever. Then we're going to do, oh my god, not the poop brown. It's really upsetting that I can't do blending on these. But we're gonna you have to make do, man. You have to make do. They're pushing it, but it's not bad. That doesn't look bad. Blending would make those look so much better.
And I'm not gonna lie, this is really where the downfall started. I was really trying to get this background fixed alongside the foreground. I was trying to layer the foreground on top of it, but it just didn't look good. So I tried to minimalize the background by taking out the pattern, but that didn't really work either. Then I tried to make the parts styled around water and exclusively the grass and the water, but that also just didn't work. Then I tried to base it off of some of the water levels in Sonic, and I just couldn't find any inspiration. This part genuinely was the biggest chore for me. I tried everything. I tried restructuring it, as you can see we're doing right now, and this is ultimately the structures that I started off for the final design, or that show up in the final design. But in terms of doing what I had set out with the backgrounds I set up in the last episode, it just wasn't really working. My commentary was getting even worse because I was just so upset with how I was performing on this part. And this was arguably my most favorite part. You see my game crashed. It's just a lot happening. And now you see me working on the water background, or like the background for the water part, the poop brown. But I was just trying to get every idea out there. I was trying to make it look as vibrant as possible. Well, I didn't want it to look too ugly. I was trying to keep that 8-bit aesthetic, but it's just something that wasn't working well within my favor. So I started anew. I used some of Fluffy's old decoration for ideas, and I also use it for like the ground spikes and whatnot. His ground spike decoration was actually really good, but I wanted to go for more of a design based off of those 1.9-ish, 1.8-ish design levels. Kind of like how Minus Dry is made, but only as a basis. And after that, I tried to make this super trippy dash line effect, whatever. I don't know what these are even called. They're like the animated lines that can go into each other and can create some trippy effects, but it just looked god awful because I was using the wrong version of these. But the finished product of what I did for the first batch is super hilarious and super bad. My game crashed, but that gave me the perfect opportunity to do another version of the effect, but it also didn't come out that well. It's just seeming like I wouldn't be able to do an effect like this and have it look good, because I'm also trying to layer it in the same background with the foreground.
This is genuinely like the hardest part to ever decorate. I don't think a part's ever been this hard to decorate for me. I genuinely am like stumped. I've never been this stumped. Especially with a part already having decoration in it. I'm working from a pre-made, like, I just don't have any ideas, dog.
Yep, I really didn't have any ideas. Or so I thought. Remember Minus Dry? Yeah, we went full in on Minus Dry's idea. That is exactly where this part was going to have to go if I was ever going to get it done. And honestly, it worked in my favor because the part came out beautifully. Now, there obviously are some things that I still want to do in terms of fixing it, but I think this is actually genuinely one of my like best parts from start to finish that I think I've ever done in terms of like design. Obviously, the background effects, the foreground effects, it's very, very minimal, and like you can honestly argue that the part is still very empty, but I am not going to argue that. I'm going to argue that this is one of the greatest things that I think I've ever made, because I'm not proficient in a lot of the styles that I was working in, but I just so happened to know what I was doing. I knew what I wanted in that situation, and I got the job done. Job finished? I don't think so, because we still had a sky part to make in the background. It was way too empty, so I made a bunch of clouds floating in the background. And honestly, the cloud designs themselves aren't that bad. Now I'm going to have to go back through this and actually edit this part up because it's kind of nasty in the final. But for the most part, I think I have the general idea of what I want to do. I think this level's making a very good comeback. It flows nicely from the other part, even though it's not 8-bit. You can't have everything, man. Some levels are just inconsistent, and I'm not going to hold this level back because my brain was on inconsistent timing that day. So I'm going to see what I can do on day 5. But for now, the part we have isn't like the worst thing ever. It flows nicely into MF's part. MF's part's probably going to get some more revamping, because I actually didn't even work on it in day 4 because I was so stressed and worried about this part. But yeah, we're gonna be working a lot on MF's part for day 5, so don't even worry about it. But yeah, that's really the end. This is going to be the shortest one yet, because honestly my commentary was basically non-existent at this point. Was too upset. But yeah, here is the showcase of what we have so far for 8-Bit Frenzy.